Welcome back to the Africa, the Continent, Not the Country podcast, hosted by Ruth Henry, Joy Ziba, and me, Victoria Ziba. We're looking forward to teaching you all a little bit more about African society. In today's episode, we'll be focusing on the incarceration system within Nigeria and how corrupt it is.
So, Joy, out of all the ideas that we were scrambling through, you seem to be the one to bring this topic up. Is there any specific reason why, or was it just like a last-minute thought?
Well, as you know, Victoria and I are twins. Our mom started a conversation about Nigerian politics while we were getting the permission slip for the San Quentin field trip signed. As we were having this conversation, I thought it was perfect. We were already learning about incarceration in the United States, but do people know about the incarceration system in other countries?
Our mom even said the politics in Nigeria was a mess. So, not to speak for Joy, but I think that might have been the intrigue into looking specifically for more information on incarcerated people in Nigeria. So, Joy, do you just want to go ahead and get us started?
Sure. So I did a little research, and according to Awaji's, a website with research on Nigeria's prison conditions, I found that the prisons in Nigeria are so overcrowded that the bunkers are stacked on top of each other.
Like a bunk bed? Isn't it like that at San Quentin too?
Yes, but the bunking situation is much worse. According to InfoGuide Nigeria, a website that covers the health conditions of prison in Nigeria, diseases like HIV, AIDS, dysentery, and cholera run rampage because of poor sanitary conditions.
Of course, it's the same in my home country, Sierra Leone. The inmate population has increased by about 2,000, surpassing the capacity of the prison system. As you can expect, this overpopulation has led to an increase in diseases and of death among the incarcerated people. But many human rights activists in Sierra Leone are fighting for more rehabilitative prisons.
I wish we could say the same thing about Nigeria. There was a time when reformation was a concern in the Nigerian prison system, but now their prisons are designed to be more punitive. It prioritizes punishment in the form of prison labor over rehabilitation.
Oh, do you know what happened?
For a short while, prisons tried to focus on the safety of incarcerated people, providing them with treatment and seeking to rehabilitate them. However, many of the prison activities favored retribution or punishment, which contradicted the rehabilitation practices the prisons were trying to establish.
From there, things became much worse. Along with retribution, this unsanitary conditions made the incarcerated people revolt. Many did so by trying to escape, and some even succeeded.
The ironic thing is that many of those same convicts returned to prison. It's safe to say that rehabilitation in Nigerian prisons was not effective.
Even a bigger proportion of people imprisoned in Nigerian prisons are awaiting trial persons, or ATPs, which means that a majority of the people there haven't even been fully convicted of their crimes, while the smaller proportion are individuals who have actually been convicted of and are serving their sentences. I know they have this persona as criminals, but I can't help but feel guilty. For so long, we put the crime ahead of the person and labeled them by a mistake they made and thought there was no hope for rehabilitation.
Yeah, that's understandable. Although they've committed crimes, they're still human. It's hard to remember that sometimes because our society is so quick to judge.
That's a good point to bring up, Ruth. Judgment is something that many ex-convicts face. A study done by Ijeoma and Okala Uche shows that it's also one reason an ex-convict may return to the criminal lifestyle.
Society has a lot of preconceived ideas about prisons, and many of these ideas are universal, some of which include that all incarcerated people are violent,
Or that all incarcerated people are in a gang.
Or that incarcerated people are not able to change.
That's it for this week's podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for joining us for this week's podcast. Remember to tune in next week where we'll discuss the adoption and foster care system in Sierra Leone.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to get more information on each week's topic.
and you can find us at any streaming platform like Spotify, Apple Play, etc.
Again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again.